Hey guys, finally he sleeps here. Today we're going to break down Raid Shadow Legends and put together a very comprehensive beginner's guide to get you going, so stick around. Finally, he sleeps here. If you guys have been following along on Twitch or YouTube, you know that I am fully addicted to Raid Shadow Legends. Today's guide is going to be a comprehensive kind of entry-level explanation of the game to get you going if you're just starting out. Check out any other videos I've got here on Raid Shadow Legends or any other game that I'm going. Check out the Twitch stream and finallyhesleeps.com, where I post. It's mostly about FIFA Mobile, but there's a lot of Raid stuff as well. And don't forget to subscribe, like, turn on notifications here at YouTube. That way you never miss when a video goes live. Okay, so let's just get into this thing and dig right into Raid Shadow Legends. The first thing I want to talk about is, actually, let's switch to the other side so you can see it. We want to talk about the daily quests, the missions, and the challenges as well. You have daily, weekly, and monthly quests that all give out rewards to help you progress. There are missions that you can work towards as well. These keep getting tougher and tougher as you go along, and they go in groups of 75, and they give out constant rewards, so pay attention to them. And then challenges are divided up between the aspects of the game. You got champions, artifacts, dungeons, and arenas. These are a progressive way to constantly earn rewards, more energy, more coins and gems and everything. So just pay attention to those three at the bottom of the screen. In addition, we have playtime rewards. Now, these are every day. They start at reset, and you get rewards for 5 minutes, 20, 40, 60, 90, and 180 minutes. If you're not playing 180 minutes a day in Raid, at least leave the game open, leave your phone unlocked for 3 hours every day, and then claim all of your in-game rewards. You don't really have to be doing anything. You just have to have it open either on your desktop, because again, this is a mobile game and a computer game that links across. You can play on either one. Leave it open for 3 hours per day just to claim those rewards. Now, the next big thing is pay attention to the tournaments and events that are going on. Try to make sure you are getting the most out of your time when you play Raid Shadow Legends. If you can wait until each action gives you more rewards and benefits, that's all the more better. If you know a champion summoning tournament is coming, hold your shards so that you can claim them all at once and earn the rewards from that stuff as well. If, let's say, there's a Fire Knight tournament in a dungeon divers event and maybe a champion training event, then farm in the Fire Knight. Don't waste your time in the Dragon's Lair or in campaigns while this is going on, because it's always good for additional rewards. Basically, just maximize what you can do so that your benefits and rewards for each weekend or each time you play just maximizes what you can earn. Now, as far as energy goes, this is a energy-driven game. So you start out being able to hold 100 energy. It gets higher the more levels you go. You want to keep your energy less than full so you can always generate more. You don't want to stack your energy unless you don't have a choice. So if you're buying stuff in the store or whatever, you can get energy packs that you can refresh your energy. You don't want, as soon as you get them, you don't want to just go boom, 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 and build your energy up to 600-700 energy, because you're not generating energy once it's above your level's energy max. So like right now, mine is at 118. So if I have more than 118 energy, I'm not generating more, and energy is pretty important. The next tip, set goals and move forward. You're going to want to get one champion to 6 stars and then go for a full 5-man team of 6-star champions. Then you're going to start building faction armies, but that's a bit out of range for a beginner's guide. So start slow, building one champion at a time, and then work your way forward. Now, the next thing, building champions and sacrifices. So I want to talk about this for a second. A champion is a player you're training to actually play with. You're going to use him. You're going to give them gear. You're going to ascend them. You're going to upgrade them, rank them, everything. They are somebody that is important to you. You like them. You want to hold them. You want to take them out to dinner. A sacrifice is a throwaway player. You're just training them to use as rank fuel for your other champions. You're never going to want to put gear. You're never going to want to ascend. You're not going to want to do anything other than just train them because they're just training food. Now, the tavern is where you're going to go to be able to do all of your rank up and ascending of champions. A player can be maxed out to 10 times their stars in levels. So you see this is a 60 level 60 6-star champion. That is a max level champion. A player at a 3-star can only be level 30 to be maxed out. That would be a maxed out level there. 20 for a 2-star, 10 for a 1-star. Now, the way ranking up players works is you have to max a player out and then upgrade rank. It requires 3 players of their equivalent to go in. So a champion maxed at their star level requires a equivalent amount of champions to that star level that you are leaving. So a 30 rank 3-star champion requires 3 3-star champions. Doesn't matter what their level is. A level 22-star requires 2 2-star champions. That's how it works. So a 5-star 50 rank champion is going to require 5 5-star champions or chickens. Chickens are it's hilarious. That's something that you can earn in events and in tournaments and in doing different quests. There, it just takes the place of a standard player. You can't use it, but it's just a champion ranking thing. Now, once you sacrifice champions, they are gone forever. But that's okay because they're sacrificed, in this case, for a reason. You're only going to want to build sacrifices to burn them into another champion. And you're going to farm to build these sacrifice champions. You need to constantly be building sacrifices from 1-star forward, all the way down to the worst of worst players. These are where you're going to start building players to turn them in to move things forward. Take a 1-star to 10, burn another level 1-star in to make them a 2-star sacrifice. 2-star sacrifices can take to a max level 20, and then you burn those in, you rank them up to 3-star, and then you're going to use those 3 stars to source. So where do you get all of these champions to use as sacrifices to build up your actual champions that you're using? You can get them in a few different ways. Player drops in dungeons. So if you look in dungeons and campaigns, we're going to pick one, Fire Knight. There are shards here that are available as player drops to be able to open them up. And in the campaigns, you actually can earn players. Miscellaneous drops, there's actual players that drop. You can also buy them in the market. They are available here as well. You see a Death Hound at 8,000. The one thing you want to pay attention to in the market is you need to understand their costs. A 1-star is not worth the expense. You can buy a mystery shard for 5,000 coins, and then it costs 500 coins to open it. You're guaranteed a 1-star, meaning that 1-star player is only going to cost you 5,500 coins instead of 8,000 or 7,000 or 6,000. But you have a chance at a higher 2-star or 3-star with a mystery shard. Now, 2-star uncommons to use as sacrifices to buy them in the market, they're usually between 39,000 and 49,000 coins. That's going to be up to you whether or not it's worth that expense if you're farming, if you've got a lot of coins to be able to use it, because it is going to save you a lot of time building players up from 1-stars to get them to 2-stars. The other way is by opening shards that you've either earned by drops or bought in the market. This is the last way to claim players in this event, other than buying packs with actual cash and in the store. I always buy the shards in the market whenever they pop up, because if you're constantly farming for sacrifice players to build higher level tier champions that you're working with, all of these shards are the easiest and the quickest way to get it. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is campaign farming. When we have all these players and we are coming into each of the opportunities to play the events and earn more items, you need coins, you need XP, you need players and everything. Campaign farming is the easiest way to do it. Now, the best way to go about it is 12-6. 12-6, stage 6 in Brimstone Path is the best bang for energy, TXP, and coins across the board. And the reason is because of what it gives you back in XP per champions based on the energy expended. So now at brutal level, 12-6, Brimstone Path, you get 10,560 XP per player for 8 energy spent. So that's 1,320 XP per energy expended. 1,320 XP per energy expended. Now, if you move up to 12-7, it does give you a wide variety of drops that you might have a better chance to get something else. But it's 9 energy. You only get back 816 XP per player per energy spent. So 816 compared to 1320, it's actually a drop. Now, if you go up to Nightmare and you go back to level 1-6 in Nightmare by comparison, it does give you 12,787 XP per player total, but you spend 16 energy getting you there, so it's only 799 XP per 1 energy spent. So you've got to pay attention to that ratio, energy to XP earned or rewards. You're going to earn silver and you're going to earn gear as well on all of these things that you can use. You can either sell them, plus there's player drops, and you're always building XP, better players, leveling up, farming again. That's what we were talking about. So you earn 13,000 there on this level. This is brutal at 12-6, plus the item that you're going to sell and all of the XP that you're generating. And the next thing, let's talk about gear a little bit. Dungeons is where you're going to farm your gear specifically for what you want. Lifesteal, accuracy, and speed are by far the best things that you're going to be able to claim. You can grab those in specific dungeon boss layers or at campaign where they drop those specific items. Let's see. Palace of Aravia is going to give out speed artifacts. These are what you'll use for the speed. You can grab accuracy over here in Felwyn's Gate. And then lifesteal is going to come from Valdemar Strait. Lifesteal, what they do is they give you back HP as you attack. Accuracy increases your chances of making critical hits. Speed increases your turn meter so you can attack more often. Those are the 3 main ones that you're going to want to focus on as you begin building champions as a beginner. So let's talk about gear and accessories a little bit moving forward. I suggest that you wait to train any of your gear above level 8 until you have at least 5-star items or legendary items for each player. They need to be applied in sets. So if you look at the different items, so like set life, it has a 2 next to it. That means that 2 of them give you the bonus of HP plus 15% for life items. Offense is another 2 set. If we scroll down to some bigger ones, Relentless is a 4-turn set that gives you an 18% chance to get an extra turn, but you have to have 4 of those applied to get it. So you have 6 spots. You can either do 3 2-tier sets, or one 4-tier set and a 2-tier set. Let's see. If you don't have a full set in, you miss out on that bonus, and that's the whole point of doing this. Now, you have 6 different spots for your different gear. You have the weapons up first. Those are almost always going to give you attack is your main stat. You have helmets, which are almost always going to give you HP as your main stat. Shields are for defense. Gauntlets are going to give you critical rate if you pay attention. Don't put something there in your gauntlets that don't give you a critical rate, because if you use that for attack, hold off until you can get a critical rate item there for gauntlets. Chestplate, they give out a little bit something different each time. That one's where I normally use just to fill in a spot if I need that for one of the sets to maximize it out. And then boots, you're going to want their main stat to be speed. Again, don't waste a spot there with something else. So critical rate and speed on your gauntlets and your boots are very important. Now, I want to talk about the difference between flat stats versus percentages. So if we see that speed 19 there for my lifesteal boots at level 12, that speed 19 is just a straight 19 added to my speed. If you look at the critical rate, it says 26%. Now, each item's stats can either be a flat number or a percentage. The percentage of their base stats, this is more important, especially as the champions progress, and their percentages will eventually far out exceed their flat stat ability. Next thing, I know this is a lot. We're trying to go through as much as we possibly can. Prioritize your gems. Now, the first thing you're going to want to put into is the gem mine. This is where I put all of my gems in the very beginning of the game, because this is the most important. Because the gem mine gives you back gems. And the higher level it is, the more gems you earn per hour. So you're going to want to focus all of your gems on the gem mine first. Unlock it and then max it out. The next thing is the training pit, the sparring pit. This is where you can constantly be upgrading players when you're not playing. So like if you go to bed at night, make sure you have players in here that are upgrading for until the morning. It's just about maximizing what you got. You can either use it for sacrifices or for champions or whatever. But once you have all of those spots maxed out, the next thing you're going to want to do is use it for masteries. Masteries, if we look at a champion, we'll go to a lower tier champion. Masteries right here is this last tab in their stats. And you can unlock these things in 2 different ways. You can either use Minotaur's Labyrinth, where we'll go look at in a second, or you can click get all scrolls. Now, the cost for getting all scrolls is 800 gems. So once you have your gem mine done and your sparring pit done, you're going to hold them until you can get those 800 gems. And you're not going to waste them on stuff like refreshing early or unlocking spots in your inventory. You're just going to save them up 800 at a time and then unlock all scrolls for each of your top champions. In the beginning, though, I suggest you unlock 2 of these masteries like I did here. I did support and offense. I suggest either that or support and defense for each one. Now, what this is you get steadfast is max HP plus 810. And offense is giving you an attack percentage. If you went with defense, it gives you a defense increase at all. Now, the way to get that is either to use gems, but you're only going to do that once you're unlocking everything, or you're going to go to Minotaur's Labyrinth in the dungeon. Now, stage 5 and stage 10 are the 2 that give you your base level scrolls, and they're the best place to do it. Now, if you have champions that are already maxed out on masteries, put them in to complete the battle, and then place a player in that you need masteries for. So we'll just go down to one of my farming champions to show you what this looks like. So all of these, if I look at one of these players, they have maxed stats already. They're already done and complete. So if you put them in, the Minotaur's Labyrinth only applies scrolls to the players that need them. Now, it only takes 10 scrolls to unlock 2 masteries for a champion. Because of what I suggested there, if you just use Minotaur's Labyrinth at stage 5 or stage 10, to unlock those 2 masteries for any champion that you're using, not somebody that you're using as a sacrifice, but something that you're using, and then wait until you've got your sparring pit and your gem mine done to be able to unlock all of the scrolls for everything. It's the quickest way to do it. Next thing I want to talk about, arena battles. Now you can refresh your battles every 15 minutes in the arena. That's both classic arena and tag team arena. Refresh every 15 minutes. That way you can take on battles that are easier to win. This is where you want to take on and earn medals in classic arena. Those are you're going to trade in at the Great Hall for blanket stat increases. I'll show you the Great Hall here. Now what these do is they apply stat increases across a specific affinities different stats. So if we were to increase resist on the magic champions, those champions would all upgrade across the board for that stat, just for the magic champions. Great Hall is fantastic, but you need to be in classic arena or tag team to be able to do it. Don't waste your coins. Make sure you get those matches in every day. Now, the next tip, don't waste higher rarity or off affinity stuff. If you're in the tavern and you're training someone, here, we'll put someone in that needs actual training. You have these beer mugs that you can use, but if you notice, each mug has a different affinity on it. If you use an affinity that matches, it's going to give you 18,750 XP. If you use the wrong affinity, 12,500. So if you're upgrading masteries or you're upgrading players, their level, make sure you use the correct thing to get the most bang for your buck. Now, upgrading skills is the same way. If you have tomes to upgrade skills, I don't think I even have any tomes right now to upgrade skills. You don't have any tomes or duplicate champions. Tomes are books. And when you have tomes to be able to use, the tier that the champion is, so if it's a rare champion, they require rare or better tomes to upgrade their skills. If it's a common champion, you don't want to use a rare tome to upgrade them. So make sure you're paying attention and you're only using the items that are specific for that player. Don't waste it and move forward. Now, we're talking about affinities for a second. We need to understand the affinities. Now, the most overlooked element in Raid for new players is the affinity system. So we're going to take a look. We'll go to Arena just to be able to explain things here. So now you see this triangle in the middle right above Versus. This is how it works for gameplay. There are 4 different affinities, and each champion is assigned to one. Blue is Flame, that's for magic. Green is the Bolt, that's for spirit. Red is the Skull, that's for force. Purple triangle is Void. It's like rock, paper, scissors. Magic beats spirit, spirit beats force, force beats magic. Void is neutral, meaning it doesn't get any of the advantages or disadvantages of a mismatch or overmatch. Affinity advantage and disadvantages breaks down what you can do over or under your opponent when you're attacking down or up. So if you're attacking down, or let's say if you're attacking down, the damage that you deal is going to be reduced by 20%, 35% a chance of a hit being a weak hit, and a chance of a skill landing as a critical hit is reduced by 15%. So if you're going the other direction, so let's say you're a blue magic champion and you are taking on a green champion, then you have an advantage. That is a 30% chance of a skill landing as a strong hit, an extra 15% chance of a skill landing as a critical hit. It's a better way to attack. Let's see. If you're going up against a box that's magic, blue flame, then you'll want the majority of your champions to be Force Red Skull and none to be Spirit Green Bolt, or they're going to get their ass kicked because they'll have a disadvantage and the boss is going to have an advantage over them. Pay attention all throughout this game. It makes a big difference. The last thing I want to talk to you about is, let's see, the 4 hit types, because I just mentioned it. Weak hits. That is a 30% decreased damage and doesn't activate some effects. So you don't want weak hits whenever you can avoid them. A normal hit is just a basic output attack. Strong hit, extra 30% damage, and then a critical hit is extra damage equal to your champion's critical damage stat over and above a standard hit. That's it. Now, there's so much other stuff I could go into in separate guides, but that's where we're going to end it for this one. So much more in this game that I want to talk about, but we'll do that in other videos. We've got the Spider's Den, Clan Boss, faction armies, enchanting artifacts, champion accessories, champion types, and how to build well-rounded teams. I could literally do an entire video just on arena battles. But this is a good start. This is a good beginner's guide to understand the game and how it is. And before we get out of here, make sure you subscribe, you turn on notifications, that way you never miss when a video goes live on any of the games that I play, not just Raid. And if you haven't checked out the Twitch stream or finallyhesleeps.com, make sure you do. Before I get off of here, I do want to give a few shout outs to best supporters that I've got. Kinsey Vavoa, John O'Rourke, Bert Labar, Ruben Ventasilia, Kevin Ellison, Darren McConnell, Cole Landrian, Christoph, Oliver Quinn, Politico, Nikhil, JMO, Butt Munch, Jonathan Downing, DR123, John Callahan, and a few of the content creators that have helped me along my way. Stopty, FIFA Ruben, and Dustin. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Make sure you check out Raid Shadow Legends. And as long as you guys keep watching, I'll keep making videos.